If the United States is South Korea's key military ally, North Korea watchers are suggesting Pyongyang's picked Russia as its most important partner for the moment. So, we naturally wonder, where does that leave North Korea and its old ally China? And is the North really prioritizing Russia right now? You may recall that both China and Russia sent delegates to North Korea last week, culminating in Pyongyang's so-called Victory Day parade, marking 70 years since the armistice that's brought the Korean War to an effective close. That was significant in itself because those visiting officials were at the top of the queue among foreign dignitaries being allowed to enter the North since its pandemic-driven border closure. China's delegation was led by Li-Hongzhong, vice chairman of the Standing Committee of the Chinese National People's Congress. Russia's was led by Defense Minister Sergei-Shoigu. And in a country where state media coverage is carefully planned and approved, it's not likely to be an accident that Russia's delegation received nearly 3 times as much coverage in North Korea's Rodong-Sinmun. The newspaper printed 84 images of the Russian side in its coverage from July 27th to 28th, compared with just 30 featuring the Chinese delegation. And the language referring to Russia emphasized their strategic unity, whereas the more worn phrase of traditional friendship was applied to China. And this Russia bias was also reflected by external propaganda outlets. Of course, an obvious point here is that while Li is just one of 24 Politburo members, Russia sent its defense minister for the first time since Kim-Jong-un came to power over a decade ago. And that very fact has fueled intense speculation that Russia wants North Korean weapons support for its ongoing war with Ukraine. Shoigu's trip took place under a theme of being shown North Korean military capabilities, and the number of images in which he seemed close to the North's leader suggests that this visit has gone some way to restoring the past closeness that was broken under the leadership of former Russian President Boris Yeltsin. Kim's decision to attend multiple engagements with Shoigu over several days is also seen as very unusual. As commented by US Secretary of State Anthony-Blinken, "I strongly doubt he's there on holiday." Blinken added in recent remarks to reporters that Russia appears to be desperately looking for support for weapons wherever it can find them. Of course, Russia has little to lose by being so openly assertive in its pursuit of stronger North Korea ties. In that sense, Pyongyang and Moscow have in common the fact that they've both already upset the international community. North Korea may appreciate Russia's open assertiveness and hostility to Western powers, while recognizing that China is forging a more subtle path amid the language of a thaw in its relationship with the US. Pyongyang will still recognize the need for strong China ties, diplomatically and economically, and it will have taken as a positive signal the presence of a Politburo member at a military parade demonstrating the fruits of North Korea's banned missile development. But clearly the Russia partnership holds more promise for Pyongyang's immediate goals of using military threats to keep enemies at bay. With those perceived enemies, namely the US and South Korea, planning more joint military drills, we'll keep you updated on what happens next. Please help us do so by liking and subscribing, and feel free to have your say by commenting below.